Live.
Live. Hello.
Yeah, we are live. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Chi
I'm
Leong,
Chi Leong.
blink twice if you are not allowed to speak freely. Blink twice.
Three
What
times.
is your favorite? What is your
I am
favorite
Tristan.
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lighting
He
here
was
is
Chi
bad.
Leong. I'm
Okay.
Tristan, and Swimming is here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think Chi Leong is under hostage. He will blink twice if
Yeah.
he's
It's all
not
right.
allowed to speak freely. So this is episode number 102.
Hey, 103.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Is it 102? 103. Yeah, 103.
Yeah. I missed the last one because my network died.
And my network is still bad actually. I even changed.
It's fine.
I'm going to do it. It's typical.
It's fine.
So that being said,
You gotta improve over time.
yeah. So what's happened to? What's anything interesting happening? Before we go on.
I don't know what is happening.
Nothing much. There's a rice cooker behind me.
There's Clang is under MCO again, and also
Yes.
Saba, and it's quite
Take
difficult
care.
to move again.
There's
Yes.
some
Oh, wait,
escalation
oh,
of the. There's some
Yes.
escalation of some statuses as well. So
Correct.
try to take care and try to avoid going up too much, I
Yes.
guess.
Correct. So far, only Sabah and one area in the Klang region are being in lockdown, and I hope it's just that. Meanwhile, we had some interesting interview next week. I may share something interesting as well because turns out, as everybody know, because kind of announced to everywhere, I had some documents that I had scanned, but it's in image form, so I need to process it. So instead of using some third-party services, I think this is a learning opportunity to actually process the PDF in table to extract data. So there's something.
So do you are you actually looking for help for more
No,
committers?
this is actually an adventure that I want to go.
Okay, it's a solo adventure.
Yeah, it's a. I mean, you can join.
I'm thinking. I know. I'm
go
thinking
on.
along the line of because Oktoberfest is going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So whether you
So the
you
thing
might
is-
want people to come like
Contribute.
Yeah. But often what people are suggesting is what people are suggesting that just use Amazon OCR service or the cloud OCR service, which is actually
Yes.
sure it works, but that's not my goal here as well. It's okay. Yes, it's my
it
goal, but
works.
yeah, it's work.
It works for
also-
me if it works for me also. Thank you for the Amazon credits as well.
Yeah, correct. So I mean, I have my own reason, but the primary one is that I want to take this opportunity to learn. I want to know how the algorithm works and all that. So, which is not a good idea, a good topic for Hacktoberfest, because if you end up just using third-party service, you kind of miss the point of learning. But if you just want to
No, I mean as in do we have anything for other people to come in to help out with?
No,
It's not about it's not about you. It's about like whether we have something for some other people to do or to train. If it's
Actually, we
not, then
do
it's
have
actually
something.
okay.
Actually, we do have something. If we can, okay. So I'm trying to cook this first, but if we can Dockerize our audio service, that would be good. Or we can have something.
Oh,
that
you
make it
mean
easy.
DevKami?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that is reasonably easy to do and something that we've been procrastinating. Something
Well, if people are interested, they can drop by the channel at Slack, engineers.my. Invite yourself inside. Go to the DevKami channel and then say hi. Say hi to Sui Meng, and he will give you a laundry list of things that he wanted to get done.
correct.
but
Yeah.
he just is procrastinating about it.
Yeah. And also, Sina project always have things to be done, but the stack is a bit different, which is a good thing. Learning a different stack is always a good thing. It keep your mind sharp and all that. So, but if you don't like Python or don't like relatively not so popular CMS system, then too bad lah. So that's Hacktoberfest. Yeah, I think that's about it. More to come. More to come. So let's start with events. Now you see my porn. So let's start with on Tuesday. Oh, I thought we already have DevOps meetup last week. But yeah. So on Tuesday we actually have a DevOps meetup, and I need to actually increase my screen size. I just upgraded to Ubuntu 2020 at 2004.
Mm-hmm.
It's uneventful. Is it better now?
As it should be for an
Okay.
LTS.
So DevOps Malaysia. This is happening online. Let me add a bit more. So happening online, and more details to come. So this is happening online and all that. Then on Wednesday, PyData KL is having a machine learning models in production talk. Again, online, 8 p.m. You go to the calendar, you go to the meetup page that will give the detail and all that lah. Then Wednesday is, oh no, this is the week after next week, but I need to skip a bit ahead because we had a talk by IO Foundation.
Yeah, I just updated the calendar
Okay.
as we speak, so you can just refresh this event as well.
Yeah.
I just
let
refreshed
me
the page and
refresh,
it should,
So I just updated that.
Yep.
So
So this
it's
is
a
an
dialogue.
event it's a dialogue on internet and all that. It's organized by Mission Publics, and yeah, it's an online event. Also, let's see what it's talk about. So this is So internet governance. So this kind of event is actually underrated because one thing about this is that you need. Often we talk about tools, but we don't talk about how tools being used and the impact of tools. So
I think it's underrated because most often we are too fixated, or we are too
flashy things.
Yeah, we got dragged on doing things we want.
Yeah.
Then we forgot to talk to the stakeholders, or also to gather more opinions from everybody else. And also, one of the main point of this civic right movements are to raise awareness, and also for people to, give them the idea they have the rights. What concerns them.
Correct. So one more thing to think about, something a bit higher is something similar to what the machine learning guys is doing. This is something I discovered. So often you realize that a lot of machine learning and deep learning tools is on notebook, because it's a research paper. There is not a lot of section about integration. So it's almost the same actually. It's almost the same, but this is actually on higher level on more people. So yeah,
so
I think
who's doing the machine, like which group is machine learning models in
PyData KL. PyData KL.
PyData KL. Okay, and
Yeah.
do you know if the people
I know.
speaking, like which company is speaking?
Let me open up the link. Actually, I had the link. I closed the link. Let me. So the topic is about using machine learning algorithm. I do not know who, to be honest.
Okay.
But it's, they have the director of Property Guru, and this is about using conditioning on age and all that. I may go because, so remember the Kueh project?
Yeah.
I collected enough photo for one Kueh. So I might join just but I only have 30 photo
Okay.
of Kueh Lapis. So I might join for sake of learning, but then I might see, so you should for me 90% of the time. So that being said, let's go to our bus corner because we dragged it through. Okay, so first thing about bus corner, Python 3.9 is out. So
What's new?
Union operator is added to dictionary. You know what is a union operator, right? So imagine it's a set operator, so you can actually merge dictionary using operator to you have a new operator to actually merge your dictionary.
You don't have that in Python?
No,
That was
in short, it was before that it was a member function of a dictionary.
Yeah.
So it was
yeah.
it was update and I think merge, right? Is that merge?
Yeah, correct.
Or update.
Previously it's merge and
So
update. There's a method.
now you have a shortcut like
this one.
it's sort of like the arithmetic operator.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't combine two dictionaries until this
No, we have that.
thing.
We have that for a while. It's just that we don't have a shortcut for it. Then we have type hinting in collections. Not as many. There's a few of the smaller thing, but we don't have too big of a stuff. Actually, one big one that for me is actually that by default we've got a zone handling library. Previously, the date time function, but to actually handle what it means there is that you have to add your +8 and whatnot. So this one you actually can use the zone info module. What it means is that I'll come back to you soon. What it means is that you can use like Malaysia time. So zone info Asia Kuala Lumpur. Previously you have to set up yourself and use a third-party library.
Okay. I have a question on that union again, because it looks very similar to the bitwise OR. But so were there any
intended.
Like that was intentional that you want a bitwise OR on a non-bitwise?
No.
type?
It's actually how I would say it because the union operation is similar to the set union operation, and that is the operator used on set to union the two set.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, and it's also like a logical OR, like logical
Correct.
OR.
But in Python, the idiomatic way of doing OR is to use OR.
No, sorry, no, it's different. Sorry, it's different from a logical OR, but it's the same as a bitwise OR where you
bitwise, the bitwise operator.
Correct.
The bytes, right? But
correct.
I don't know.
Correct.
I'm sure on that PEP you had people complaining about overloading an operator to support more types. But I guess Python has changed since the last time I saw it.
Let me double check, but I don't remember the complaint. But it's Python is strongly typed, so the operator they actually do check properly. Sure.
It's just that you only manage to find it out once the interpreter hits that line. That's the thing.
Yeah, correct. No, actually, no. That you can't even compile actually.
Oh, you compile Python now as well? Okay, I really haven't.
Python are not purely interpreted. It's actually bytecode. So, which is why you actually have a .pyc, and you actually can't even go through that after. Yeah. Because they actually do check for type. So, if the type doesn't work, then yeah. Shall we move on? DK project stuff up. So previously they are on their own thing, I believe, was it? I don't remember. But so this is actually one of the big projects is on GitHub now. So yeah. which is good. Some people is thinking,
Weren't they? They were an
uh-huh,
Apache project, right?
correct.
OpenJDK.
They previously have their
Is
own
it?
on. Yeah, it is Apache project actually. OpenJDK, I believe, is a
Let's
Apache
see. Let me
project.
confirm that.
Oh, hmm.
No, it used to be Oracle. Wait, this is Oracle, so it's not Apache.
No, Oracle take OpenJDK is from Sun. The Sun allows it. Then IBM also joined in. Then Oracle own committee on all that. So yeah, I think was there on SourceForge previously,
No,
or
sorry.
is on
They
their
used to
own?
be Harmony. Yeah, okay, that's what I remember. Harmony. Apache
Yeah,
Harmony. So OpenJDK replaces Apache Harmony. Okay, so it's something
which
similar,
is an
like
IBM
an open Java API, which is Harmony, and then now you have OpenJDK.
project.
So it's Harmony was an Apache project.
Yeah, Apache and previously Harmony is a IBM implementation of the Java language. Then IBM come up, IBM donate the code to Apache. Then OpenJDK is actually is originally a Sun project, I believe. I believe it's a Sun project because in the last era of Sun microsystem, they actually open source a lot of stuff, which I believe is a bad idea. But then if they don't release it, they are pretty much turned irrelevant. So as in, another project that turned out is actually OpenJDK. Then as you go on, this project merged in one place. Now OpenJDK is the canonical source of open source Java implementation. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So
Speaking of
yeah,
Java, tomorrow,
uh-huh.
Google versus Oracle for the Java thingy is going to the United States Supreme Court. So we'll find out. So the
Yes.
beginning, the jury says that Google did not infringe on Oracle's copyright on the API. And
Yep.
then I think the latest was that the federal court overturned the jury decision. And so
Yep.
now they are now in the Supreme Court and it's happening tomorrow. So that's the news on Java.
I think
We'll
the
see
whole
what
thing
happens.
is a bit, yeah, and also a bit complicated because what you're going to do, imagine that suddenly, imagine that we go to the future, to the past, scikit-learn API are run by a company and they decided to actually patent .fit and .learn, right? .fit and .learn, and if they enforce the ruling that API signature is copyrightable, it means that you got a lot of machine learning project to develop a totally new way and maybe convoluted way to actually do machine learning application because .fit and .train is just so. Imagine this kind of thing, right? So which is why it's actually complicated and it's not really nice. But then Oracle is not actually a nice company. So that's another thing. Can I move on? Let's move on because it's 10, 18. There's an API security service by Cloudflare because people need that nowadays because we keep having stupid thing with the API endpoint. And this is the more interesting one actually. Some COVID-19 result in the UK, I believe it's in the UK, is missing because they use Excel. And it's actually not the first time this kind of behavior happened. Recently as well, the group that works on genetics also decided to rename some of the standards to rename genetic code, so that it will works better on Excel.
This is actually a pretty old news, right?
No, this is actually 2 days ago.
Oh, but I remember the article came out like one article came out like half a year ago.
Yeah.
This.
This kept happening. This kind of thing keep happening because people use Excel in interesting way, and sometimes the naming convention doesn't. Excel decided to rename some of the value into date and whatnot, which is very interesting. But here's the thing, right? Excel is very powerful, but what I expect these people to do, learn Python, right? Now they have to learn another thing. So
Apparently, it's because they just used an old format that can only contain 65,000 rows.
yeah, correct.
But the newer formats can handle more than 1 million rows.
So
So
okay,
that was a problem.
yeah. I
It's
think
been
this
cutting
is.
off the CSV.
I think in this case, what happened is, uh, it's up to 87. It's one of those legacy IT thing. So it's not IT one. It's one of the things that you have to actually keep investing, which is actually a problem in government service because in government service, uh, IT is not a core activity. As a result, there will be spending time to actually cut costs, and every time you propose a new system, you need to go through the parliament. You hopefully the parliament didn't find out in Malaysia, in some other country, and go through the parliament. Then, so the generating the whole system. Then you hopefully, the other side don't complain about it. Then go through. Except in this case, once you have project, then it's a mess like government IT. Yes, but either way, I think that's the last news I have on my mind. Anything else that I forget to add to the list? If not, then I should move on. So,
Yep. Let's move on. Let's move on.
so one of the things that I was curious with, okay, so I'm actually a very privileged field in a way that my first job is IT job. I don't. My first job is IT job. What does it mean is that I don't actually. So the first job that I actually do is actually in university where I actually fix computers, right? So and help run the network. That's it. So help people set up their network and all that. But otherwise, I don't actually have uh, a career outside of IT, right? Then my first real job would be in software development, actually as a QA actually, which is in this case as a COBOL developer. It's not a COBOL developer, as a tester that actually wait, that actually acts as an operator of a mainframe system, which as I say, an IT job, right? So I don't actually have a non-IT job before, but I know that Tristan actually had experience before he's a software developer. He's a shop manager of some franchise that maybe he'll tell later. I don't remember the name. Then Chilian used to be a teacher, so
No, I did a lot of things.
Yeah,
I did a lot of things. I want to raise it up is that go get your degrees.
yes.
So I did a lot of jobs before somebody willing to hire me to write codes.
So which goes to my second.
Put it that way.
Report to my second privilege. I'm a computer science student, which means that it's automatically thought that I would do computing. And I'm from University of Malaya, which is like the top university, quote unquote. Even though the course is not really that good, it's not really that good. But it also means that because there's a reputation there, when I go job is very easy, right? I pass reasonably well and all that. So yeah, I have all the privilege. As a result, I don't actually have a job outside IT, to be honest. Unless you count PyCon, but that's not a job. I don't get paid for that. So the first question to ask you guys is let's talk about your non-IT experience first. Any one of you. Let's Chiliang because
what's there to talk about actually?
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
so the second
It's
thing is
if I want to say it's plainly for survival because it's survival.
Yeah,
so
because
is
during
our
that
job,
time
right?
was the Asian financial crisis, right? Like the world was reeling from the financial crisis during that
The
time. It's quite
subprime
difficult
crisis.
to find work. Yeah,
Which is
the
why I'm
Asian
lucky to
financial
get a job.
crisis, and then Enron happened as well. So
Yeah. I remember
uh,
Enron. I remember AIG crash. AIG literally crashed, but
yeah, so all of
the
these like events were there quite difficult to find jobs, and so that's why all of these jobs were like You just do whatever was available.
Well,
Yep.
at that time, I just
You
worked for
cannot-
a startup.
it's because of no choices. You have to survive. I have to pay the rent. I'm not local.
Okay.
Somebody, yeah.
Okay,
Or
so
else
the
I'll be
next.
on the street.
Okay, okay.
It's not. It's not something that is gonna be. What you say? Gonna be something that a happy story for people. It's just a survival.
Yeah, but so
It's
it's
not
software
a
development job, right?
it's not a passion job. It's a necessity job. Like you do, like
Right.
if someone was uh, asking to deliver things, then
Yeah.
you probably ask for payment for it, right? So
Yeah, but so is most
whatever
of the.
whoever's paying, then you go there.
Okay, so in this way, it's similar to any job actually, right? So there will be time that you have to use a framework that you don't like. You have to use a database that you don't like. For
Yeah, but
example,
that is basically no. That the difference is at least you still have a job. You are
Yeah.
still doing. Is that the difference is between like living on the street or versus I prefer to fry burger or freak burger or do delivery. Is whether you get a job or not. It's a instead of whether you like to do what you want or not. There's no for me. There were no thinking of there were no this kind of it's automatic. It's a survival mode. So there were no thoughts of whether I like to do this or the preference of my role. It's just survival. So
yeah, which is why I think it's the same for every job because uh, even which is why then there's really no difference, right? Because even on software development job, you really have to
No, I wouldn't. I
input.
really wouldn't compare it like to any other job. This is a difference between eating tomorrow or like
yeah,
just
Yeah,
not being able to eat tomorrow. Like
yeah,
whether you use a database that you don't like, you still get to have lunch probably.
yeah. You still have a
Or
choice. Yeah.
yeah,
You
it's
are
just that
yeah
you're
basically yeah. I think the analogy should be like Tristan is that it's basically picking your lunch, but the analogy for the case before the IT job were whether you have a lunch.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the only big
it's-
difference.
Yeah, it is quite. I mean, the reason why, well, I guess like Chilion and I were not starting off with IT is that because of that, because we come from that time when we were
Yeah.
trying to look
You
for
have no
jobs
choice.
at an economy that is like in a recession, much like now. Like so, this is probably a repeat of what's happening last time. People are going to be graduating, and they are going to be looking for jobs, and
Yeah.
there's nobody's hiring, and you
Actually,
will see highly qualified people with like degrees, college degrees, master degrees,
yeah.
flipping burgers, literally flipping burgers because they're like in McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
Well, in Malaysia, you're very
I'm
lucky to
I'm
cook Ramly burger.
I'm considered fortunate because I'm at least literate in at least still literate and I'm okay in talking in English. At least that's my privilege. But
Yeah.
beside that, it's a it's survival mode before the stage of that. That's why it's my part is there's nothing really to talk about because there were no takeaway from those days.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end of the day, it's simply because that IT job really pays very well.
Well, I wouldn't
No,
know, at least in me, because nobody's
Yeah.
hiring.
yeah, it's like
So I wouldn't know if they're
Right.
paying
it's
well or not.
I'm not local from KL, but I live in KL back then, so it's I need to pay the rent.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
That's a funny thing
so
though,
it's a
because
survival.
I live with my parents, so I save quite a few, which allows me to go vacation. But sooner or later, things will be a bit different for me because
Even
Carolyn,
if I want to say, I think even in the early days of my IT career, the pay were not so good. Like my first IT job were 1K a month,
yeah, yeah.
5K Malaysian ringgit. That
Uh,
actually lasts me around like a year.
But then again, Malaysia ringgit versus the US dollar was like 2.5, right?
no,
It's
it's
around
still,
three.
but yeah, it's
It's
around,
around three something.
yeah, and not to
3.3,
mention that,
3.4 around that.
not to mention that the price of food is roughly the same since then, and the rents so the salary are the same. Nowadays, nowadays because of various pressure, you won't get IT for 1,000 ringgit. Possible, it's still possible, but
I'm
it's
sure
easier
there
to
are
move.
still jobs that I'm sure there are still, because I managed to know a group of people that were pretty well educated,
Yeah,
but doing some really technical stuff, but they still get paid like peanuts.
yeah,
So it's the bubble, because we are in the privilege to be in the
yeah.
bubble that at least we have the connection to be able to get jobs that pay better right now.
Yes,
So
and but even that, it's very rare for it's still very rare for a fresh graduate, really fresh from school and all that, to get 5,000 ringgit immediately. You're more likely to get like 2,000 something, or if
Yeah,
you're unlucky, 1,000
which
something. That still exists.
again, well, the problem there is
Uh-huh.
because there is asymmetry in information, right? Like
Uh,
people don't really
well,
know that
yes and no, yes and no,
people
yes and no. There's a yes and no for that actually. Uh, so the yes part is organization is very rare among professionals in Malaysia. Uh, remember that. As a result, often you don't get people to talk to each other most of the time, especially if you're like, let's say a club and all that. But on the other hand, let's say you have a professional organization like bank, union, bar council, engineering, the engineering. Of course, you're going to social. At least you're going to make some sort of connection, like a what, and that actually bring up the salary. But despite that, there's an expectation that, let's say, a pupil in a law firm only gets certain level of salary, right?
well, I don't
Uh,
know. Again, that during like
but in
the,
IT,
the early times,
uh-huh,
it's that all of those expectations are thrown out of the window because again, if nobody's hiring, you can't
yeah,
really like throw like, hey, I'm an IT graduate and I should earn like 5K.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, nobody knows like if you, especially if you're fresh, nobody would know what you're capable of unless you've been spending your time like doing
yeah,
open source programs, contributing to open source, or like
yeah, yeah,
getting a
yeah, yeah,
reputation out. Then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's when you
yeah,
command something. But expecting like large compensation when you're virtually unknown is a
Ah,
very risky move
yeah.
at that
from
time,
the
yes.
person who's employing you. Well, even now,
At that time,
Even
even
now,
yes.
now, like
even right now,
Yes.
it's
so there is an appetite of risk and businesses need to like depending on the economy the swings in the
Yep.
economy they would either
Yep.
have a good appetite for risk like they will invest and get false positives of good employees let's say and then they can
Yep.
cover that but if their budget is tight and they don't have a lot of room for mistakes then they
Yep.
are going to be very very picky and if
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
not bet on an unknown like
Yes.
hoping that they
That.
will turn out to be good.
Yes. And okay, a bit off topic. This is what I see in one of the developer group that I will not name that contains quite a few younger dev. I think they have an expectation that you jump IT, you get certain salary by default. Even though
No, it's
that
the salary is based on the skill level.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
And it's not just the skill level. Sometimes skill level is just a representation of what you might be able to deliver. But in the end, for businesses, is
Yes,
whether you can deliver value, because
yes,
that's what business cares about.
correct. Which actually
So
I'm
what
a bit
happened to this
worrying.
group that you will not name?
Oh no, it occurs to me that everybody had an expectation of
It's
salary
it's
level.
actually fine. It's actually fine to be a bit hopeful, but
Yeah,
I guess we just let the market decide lah. If
yeah,
if they can
correct.
get the salary, but why not? I'm
Well,
gonna be happy to them as well.
yeah, exactly. So the market is based on information. Like if
Yeah,
I know
Yes,
that you can deliver, like I 100% know you can deliver this, and I can
yeah,
like pinpoint
yeah,
exact salary that I will give you because that's how much value you will give to me, right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
the problem
yeah,
is there is information asymmetry, and even worse is that like fresh
yeah,
graduates or all of these new people
yeah.
entering, like they're virtually unknowns. There's like so much information
Yes,
asymmetry. You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah, yeah,
capable of.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
capable of.
yeah. Correct, correct.
I'm not going to risk my like the income of the rest of my employees just so
Yeah,
that I can bring you on at
yeah.
this
yeah,
level
yeah,
and
yeah,
then fail.
yeah, 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 yeah. And
Yeah.
that's actually
And
true. But
so bringing back to like the topic, right? So this is the same climate, like economic climate that was happening. So
yeah,
what's happening now with MCO, all of these things,
yeah,
recession, that was what's happening back then.
yes,
And that was like the economy that we were operating in, which is why it's not that we started off with non-tech jobs and then finally found like
yeah,
Yeah.
an IT job that we wanted. It's more like
yeah,
there are no IT jobs that you can get, mostly because there like internet wasn't as developed back then. There's no
Yeah.
YouTube, there's no GitHub,
Even
there's no
uh-huh.
open source, etc.
I
Nobody
think
knows
even
you.
like around until at least 5 or 6 years ago, it was still pretty rare. I mean, in terms of options.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This actually an interesting project I want to do as well because uh, look, as I say, right, I managed to get in. That's the thing. I also negotiate lower salary, but that's another story. Uh, but it's interesting to me that, but actually here we had talk about information asymmetry. We actually do set some expectation because for a long while, software development, not IT support, software development, even for software development, the salary is around 1K, 1.5K actually. 2K is for fresh people is quote unquote high. 2000, so it just happens that only recently that fresh graduate get 2.5 to 3K.
I don't know. I think it should be defined by the roles and the
Correct,
deliverables. Of course,
correct.
some people might have the windfall of having a landed more better paying job that you don't have to do much, but I think it still depends on the how
Well,
much you can deliver.
there's no such thing anymore because even the crappiest of job actually expect a lot of delivery. Almost no IT job that I see, I personally see and I personally heard that is go home straight at 6. Almost none of them actually happening. I can tell you that for sure.
I,
Uh,
I don't know. So if again if I cast my old self like to here and
yeah,
then it's the same economy, right? I would
yeah,
actually
yeah,
go
yeah,
for those at least for a year. Because if you're
yeah,
telling me that this company is trying its best to survive and I'm
yeah,
doing stuff to make it survive, that's a
yeah,
whole lot
Yeah.
of knowledge
I think
on
it's
how
both
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
make
ways.
Yeah. No,
a
no, no.
company survive. That's
Yeah.
valuable. It like information and knowledge that I can sell to a different company. I mean, because it's
Yeah,
knowledge
yeah,
that
yeah.
I already
Yep.
uh,
And this,
get, right?
I
And
mean, to work it, I mean, to make the company work also is also good for myself. That's on me. Like if I put in the hard work, it's for me. It's not for the company. So
Exactly.
and also like it goes both ways because if the company really mistreat you, so just go away. But else, the role for us is that we should be like we have a responsible to make
Yeah.
sure the company runs and also to make it grow.
If you're in that
Yeah,
situation,
yeah.
dip your fingers in every pot available and learn as much. Be like be able to offer like, okay, your business person does not know how to run Facebook
Yep.
ads. Like figure
Then
out how to run Facebook ads, even
Yep.
if you're doing like Kubernetes or whatever,
Yep.
right? And because these things, like even though you're being paid low, it's you take like you take it in kind, right? The knowledge is the one that you try to
Yep.
find out what it is that you can like what Carol is saying, what tools you can get, like how to sharpen your own skills so that when you get out or move somewhere better, then you become more valuable.
Yep. Immediately.
Yeah,
So
I
instead
think
of I mean, there's approximately. I mean, the waiting part is just gonna be damaging to ourselves because if we gonna wait for an ideal environment to happen, then we're gonna just waste our time. I mean, just that. So I think if it's not ideal, I think like just like relationship or everything is all goes to communication. So if you can see there's no way out from this relationship, then just get out. If it's toxic or anything, just get out. So, but or else, both sides has a responsibility to make sure the relationship work. But also like the way how you improve yourself, also you're gonna carry that till till forever lah.
Yeah.
To another job or to another work. How to be a better person, how to be better at this.
because one
Yes,
top
Cairo.
tools because I almost never bring my Kobo outside of my work. I can do it, but I just don't use it.
Hey, I never bought some of my. I think also Tristan never brought his burger flipping skill to other jobs as well.
Well,
But-
not so again, the burger flipping itself is not the thing that you learned, right?
Yeah.
This is about
The-
so the important thing there is like how do you make your process efficient? Because you have a 4 minutes 30 seconds to flip a burger. Basically, that's your time, like the standard time for a burger to be assembled from the order to getting it out to your PC. I forgot what PC means.
Also, like how to
it's
work
an
with
acronym.
people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. How do you like the relationships with your crewmates, like with the rest of your crew, to make sure that okay, I need the griddle for now, because I have an order, but you have an order as well. So how do you like? Okay, let's share the thing, because you have your own responsibilities. They have their own responsibilities. There's a deadline. There's like all of these things are like great practice. It happens over and over and over, and it just becomes a habit for you, which then you can apply to other things. Not the burger itself. Yeah, the burger. I don't know what the knowledge of like 4.5 minutes will bring me.
The domain knowledge carries forever. I mean, it can be applied to a lot of other different domains.
Yeah, but often it depends on the area because even though I'm in quote unquote finance, because I also work with multiple, I think it's roughly the same. All projects have process. All kind of finance company have process. All kind of software financial company have is risk averse. So you understand what you generally had an idea of what they accept as a technology stack, because I'm heavy on the software side, right? So I also heavy there's a generalization if you work in enough, right?
But software is never
that's
about
one
really nothing is ever isolated. Like software is never about software itself. It's about like solving problems. So
Yeah,
whether
yeah,
it's
yeah.
solving,
So
I mean,
then you
the process
also,
involves solving problem for your colleagues or for your companies or for the customers.
Yeah. And which is probably the reason why a lot of people who transfer over from non-tech to technology tend to do better, not because they were earning something and then they're earning high and then they just transfer over the job, the earning expectation, right? It's more because they actually have a different set of skills than the other
yeah,
people, which is why they tend to be worth more. Like someone who came
yes,
from a banking, like a proper banker, accountant, etc., doing now financial going for a financial startup is going to be a lot will be a lot worth a lot more than someone who graduates straight from CS
yeah,
without like and haven't that doesn't even know how to manage their own bank account.
yeah,
There is just certain specific knowledge that you cannot get inside the software industry, that you can
yeah,
only get when actually being an expert in a
Yeah.
different field.
yeah. And that's actually a problem for me in the future because uh, put it this way, my salary will be just mostly stagnant across soon.
Nah, don't
And
be pessimistic.
Mm,
There's
so,
just
yeah,
just focus on being a better you, and
yeah,
that should be the most important part for me. Just be a better you, regardless of
yeah,
where your situation is.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
what I would say, for example, so for people who are in tech
Yep.
right now and are finding it difficult to like I don't know to get a raise, although I would say that I doubt if it's like good form to ask your company for a raise, especially everyone is just trying hard to survive.
yeah.
But
No,
if
no,
you
no.
would
I
like
mean,
to,
not at this economy, right? Not at this
yeah,
economy,
No,
but if
but
you
it's
would like
okay.
to,
It's okay to communicate over, I think.
mhm. Yeah, well, I mean, it's good to hint like, hey, after everything's done, like maybe it's time to review the salary, right? But to
Yep.
actually go outside of technology, like learn something outside of the thing that you're doing right now,
yeah,
um, something that you wanted to do, like I don't know, like swimming, for example, is doing a lot of photography, right?
yeah,
Doing like all of these ISO values, all of these like white balance, all of these like I don't know, um, different color, like white points and color points and those things,
Yep.
HSV conversion to RGB. Because I don't know how it's going to apply to particular things. That maybe eventually you'd go for like I don't know an image processing company
yeah,
that requires like particular specific knowledge on photographs, like how are they created, or maybe this company uh, detects like fake photos. And so the knowledge of photography on how to edit videos as well, like how to edit photographs in software will actually be transferable over. Like you wouldn't really know. And so for people who are just doing software and are getting bored of it, maybe it's because you're just too much doing the same thing over and over. And as human beings, we just need a lot of variety. You keep your paying job, but you keep on also trying out different things and trying to uh, like encourage the creativity in your brain so that
Yep.
yeah,
you get like different connections. You try to see things in a different light, and then that kind of um, of skill of being able to do connections, it's actually a lot very very valuable, and
right.
businesses will pay for that. You get of course the only problem there is that you get invited to a lot more meetings instead of just doing more code, but that's where the value is, like people getting more ideas and then you start executing them.
Still thinking.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kyril is saying that he spent a lot of time
Kind
troubleshooting real-time latency, which
you know,
again, you don't face problems with real-time latency until you actually
so
are there, and then that's the first time you encounter it, and then you don't know what to do, right? But if you've been investigating it before, like, okay, why? I wonder why. So maybe you were interested in WebRTC, the technology, even though it's not related to your job at all. Then you try to figure out, okay, how do I? What are the steps for getting video from your webcam to another person's browser? Like, how does that delivered? And then you try to shorten that, and then you face a problem with latency. So now you already know a bit about the field, and you know where to go instead of like just not knowing where to start at all. So the connections are important.
Right.
I think just yeah, it's not that we should just not gleefully ignoring concerns and issues that we have, but you shouldn't be pessimistic as well. Just be a bit honest of what you want to do, what you want, and I mean, it's also that also happened within ourselves, like negotiate with yourself, like what can you do, like what you really want to do.
I have no idea what I want to do.
So yes, the thing is, so here's the thing. I read the book. I forgot the name. What is it? Like the advice is like, I forgot, but I'll put the notes later on. But the advice there is that people don't actually know what they want to do, and in the end, when you ask people, is this what you like? What do you want? What do you really want to do? In the end, what the answer is the thing that they have been doing for many years, and so they become expert in that, and that's where they find their passion. So the book is actually trying to remember the Steve Jobs quote, like "Do your passion" or whatever. I forgot the exact quote, but go with the work that you're passionate about. The book argues against that you actually don't know what you're passionate about until you start doing something. And that work might not be something that you're passionate about in the first place, but because you started becoming an expert in that field, then you start becoming more and more curious about it. I think it's So Good. It's by Calco or something. So Good. Yeah, I'll figure out by Cal Newport. So good they can't ignore you. I'll put it on the links, and then you can put that there.
I'm gonna share
That's
the link.
About like, follow your passion is bad advice, and this is what you should do instead. So this is a book recommendation. If Swimming wants to read this, go ahead. But this is a very, very good advice, especially in this economy.
Yep.
When
I think also the word passion is also pretty misunderstood.
Yeah.
Is that it's the thing that we thought that we want, that we should go forward to, but most of the time we don't know what our passion might be. Like just like Tristan is saying.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Tristan.
Tristan is gone. Interesting.
Tristan is gone. Yeah.
I think there is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I got kicked out. Swimming kicked me out for recommending a book.
I would add my book. I would add the book to my to-do list because I'm still officially on a holiday. So
yeah, I think you just need to. I think you just need to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
It's normal that when we take a break, our mind get really creative of what kind of the next idea or next project we can work on. But do take a break. So when I mean it, like just when you can afford the break, just take a break, take a step back.
Speaking of break, so I did take a break around like 2016 for 6 months. Like I think what Sina was doing as well, a sabbatical. But I did take a break, but I also took on like a different role, like a mentoring role in Next Academy for like a few months. And that was actually a good break because I get to like spend my time just learning about things, like learning things from the basics and then teaching them to other people as well without like the whole pressure of getting things into production, because it's a safe space, right, for students. So yeah, teaching might be a good time to do a break as well. Just not doing something very stressful.
I do not know what's the difference anymore because so what I think is I like algorithm problem, which is why I'm really looking at all the OpenCV technology to scan the PDF and talk about.
No, you literally just do just if you have the time, just do. If you don't, if you feel miserable while doing it, stop and try something else. We are never. I mean, we are never too late to try new things. We are never too late to be too invested. So it's a bit cheesy, but the opportunity. I mean, we have time. I mean, we have time to do. It's never too late to start on something else.
Yes. The hack is also easy for me because I'm so senior. I don't care. I can do whatever I want. Just make sure I pay my bill, which I can. So it's interesting. So
Yeah, it's good. Again, not a lot of people are privileged to be able to take a break. So if you are able to, then make the most out of
Yep.
it, I would say.
I'm just glad that for kids don't need to go to college. Ignore me. I'm crazy.
Don't go crazy. Just
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
try.
That's
I know it's a bit
that's
personal
good.
at this point because I expect more interview of this type because I try to get more people to talk about transitions and all that. I think it would be also interesting for.
Yes.
I also think there
The
should be.
reality.
Uh-huh.
I'm not trying to discount. I don't try to discount if there were other better story, but the reality is it's often not romantic at all.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
I think a Greek story is good story. You see, even though it's not. Not everything is a fairy tale, right?
Oh,
Even
but
in
Chi
fairy
Young's
tale,
story is a rags to riches story, like
yeah.
this orphan, no, not orphan, sorry, like a street kid
All
in
the
KL
truth.
who's barely surviving into this like multi-millionaire uh,
I'm
employee,
not
sorry,
there yet.
employee,
I hope I can
rags
be.
to riches.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so I hope to get more of this kind of story, but maybe even if it's really just that the opportunity for IT is better for you and want to move forward, tell us. I would love to know. And
Yeah.
also, all these are good story that I want to learn about. What did you? Uh, why you think there's so much opportunity? What's your barrier? What's your barrier? Because think about it. I'm privileged environment for me to do a lot of crazy thing. I'm in the right place at right time in right place in the right time, right place in the right time, and manage to do the right thing. So, which is why that's what I mean. I think with that said, I think there's one more thing I need to do. Uh, need to do. And before this, Carrie said it should be careful about this, and I think it's
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
So
well, I mean, ideally, yes, but sometimes you have no
Yeah.
choice, right?
yeah, correct. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. Well.
Sometimes circumstances force you to do that. That's
Yeah.
that is
Okay.
how life
So
happens.
before uh, before before we
There
before we
were some other story, but if you like, I can tell by story before that. It's also not really romantic, and it's pretty painful to listen to as well. I
yeah.
should warn you. The story
Correct.
before I cut out and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Last one. Before we close this, I'm
But
going
the
to share the
goal,
last.
the but
Uh-huh,
okay.
go on.
I,
Before
I
I
think I
share the
want to
last.
add in is that the goal is that is why like I like to do outreach and I try
Yeah.
to even like help out people when they need to is that I think it's not that I feel like I I mean I'm in a privileged stage right now. I also had the experience, so I think that's why I think like for me community helped me out. So that's why like I it should it's a very high priority for me to give it back and to help somebody who want to be who need it. Who I mean I don't know whether might be 1 or 2% that I can help them to get into the industry or something like that. So I feel
Okay,
I
so,
need to do it.
right.
Yep, go
So
ahead.
before you close,
I'm
because I
finished.
promised this to Isradin, Jom launch, we had a virtual event for the whole week in November. If you go to DevKami website, if you click on this episode, the link to this episode, you will get a coupon code to go to this virtual conference for free, on a discount, not free, sorry.
If you click
This
on
is
it
an
twice,
event
then
where
you get it for free. No, I'm just kidding.
I hope. But this event is actually a Jump Launch is an event to launch for mostly locals to actually launch a startup. And there's also a few talk and all that to how do you launch your small startup. If you want to launch a project, a software project, and all that, I suggest you join because it's from Zudin, one of our guests a few weeks back. It'll be a virtual conference, of course. It's online. So and also they're also accepting project. So Jump Launch traditionally had been a platform to launch Malaysian project, and there's a few success story. So I suggest you join, and if you go to DevKami link, you'll get some discount code and T-shirt and all that lah. So yeah,
What do you have some of these success stories?
do you remember Hussein? Hussein's company.
Who's
The
no, my
Malaya?
camera died.
Oh.
Sorry,
Oh,
my
okay.
camera died.
I thought my internet died. Okay, so
No.
Hussein created the Malay natural language library, and he also with a partner, he started Mesolithica, which actually launched at Jom Launch, and now providing service for natural language processing. And actually have some big client that I don't think he can name. I don't remember. So it's reasonably successful, and there's actually a few. There's actually list by Zudin on his page, Malaysian Tech Project, which is actually good because I want to support this because we are primarily a Malaysian developer community, and I hope that we can help more of us to actually launch stuff. So yeah, it's not just for T-shirt.
So they have a track record of actually getting businesses out and launched.
correct,
So
correct.
go and attend.
Correct.
Maybe that is your calling. Like
Yeah.
maybe you are going to shift out of IT and into meetings.
Yeah,
because
which is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, click on our link at devkami.com. How do you go to that? Very simple. Oh my goodness, you see my porn again. Kami.com. Then click on the link. Then yeah, you will see the job launch link here. This link will actually the referral to tell Zudin that it come from us and you get some discount. So yeah, that's all from me. And that's it. More to come. So I think that's all lah. So goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah,
See you
good night.
next week. Like, share, and
See you
See you next
subscribe.
week.
Yes.
With
There's
with
somewhere-
It
more
helps the YouTube algorithm and all of these things.
with more happy topic.
No, next week will be happy one. Next week will be a happy topic. I'm sure about that. Who
Prepare
is
your
surprised?
questions.
Yeah.
Prepare your
Yes.
questions.
Yes.
All right. Good night,
Uh,
folks.
Yep. Good night. And I'm done.
I think I should start.
And
I came to say goodbye.